as uniquely situated to retire at an earlier age. So it's more coercive against nurses and hospital staff, like the logistical staff, the janitorial staff, the people who stock the OR rooms. Those people kind of get forgotten in the hospital staff thing. They work. They don't make millions of dollars. And to do this to them, to force that choice. I mean, I know people who work in hospitals, have worked in hospitals for 15, 20 years at, not terrible wages, but we're not talking about bank breaking wages here. They're just firmly in the middle class, right? Similar to nurses who are just in the middle class, and you're going to coerce them into making a choice, or they don't get paid. Where can a nurse go? There are not many clinics and hospitals that don't take Medicare and Medicaid. Where's a backroom logistics technician, right? Who puts all the fucking who washes out the dishes, right? Like the bedpans and all the bloody sheets and all that shit. They wash those from the OR. They put like a gallon of bleach in a thing, and they do that. Where are they going to go? They can't work in the industry anymore. There's not enough private facilities to take those things. And those private facilities that don't take Medicare and Medicaid. It's coercion. It's tyranny through economics. There's a different word for that. What is tyranny through economics called? Communism. And that's communism at the end of the day. That's how communism has been tried and failed at the end of the day is its coercion through economics. Mr. Security, you think I sit next to my wife on the plane? Oh my God. Not in the cheap seats, man, when they pick your... I mean, of course, ever since I started flying for business, which pretty much all of my flying is for business nowadays. Ever since I started doing that, I started flying first class exclusively. So yes, I'm only sitting next to my wife. However, my trip to Seattle was not booked by me, and I was stupid, and I didn't upgrade my tickets, and so I flew coach, and I had to sit next to other people. Just disgusting. Oh God, being around the commoners. Ew. Okay, Planet Tobor TV. But the amazing thing is when all of your travel is business deductible, you very quickly justify that first class ticket, even if you don't use any first class amenities. It's like, well, I just won't pay taxes on this money, and that's good. Yeah, I'd highly recommend it. Also, let me just do one thing. The TSA, and fuck the TSA, by the way. They can get jabbed, and I don't mean by the vaccine poke. You know what I mean? They have done one good thing in the past couple years, just one, and that is TSA Clear. It is the greatest system in travel right now. If you fly one time, just once in an entire year, it is worth the price of TSA Clear. It is 100% worth it. No matter who you... One flight. TSA Clear. I will light the TSA on fire myself. I will burn them individually at the stake, the TSA top brass. I will hold the interrogator trials. I will use razors and remove their eyelids, and I will pour gasoline on their eyeballs to keep them awake and conscious. Whatever it takes. I will excoriate the TSA personally. But I'll still pay for TSA Clear. Because it is the best fucking system that they have come. They ruined airline travel and then bought back an inch with TSA Clear. Anyway, Planet Tober TV. I probably have to delete this video, otherwise it'll be like, whoa, we did that retinal scan, brother. You're going to jail. Planet Tober TV says, I make video games, and I am not requiring my employees, me I guess, to get the jab. Check out Savage, the Shard of Gozen on Steam, 100% solo made, free, nutrient-rich demo. Take some zinc and axe bad guys in the face. What the hell is Savage, the Shard of Gozen? Planet Tober TV. Hit me up an email, man. Tell me about your game. Heel versus Babyfaces. Help us, Japan. You're our only waifu hope. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Great Loner. The Great Loner says, keep spitting that truth fire, Nick. I'll try. Man, as long as I can. As long as I can. Mithrin Emrys says, you must show your vaccine papers. If you want to go to work, go to a show, or do anything except vote, because showing your papers to vote is racist or something. I don't know what accent that was. That's how Mithrin Emrys talks. I have it on good authority. No, you're right. Again, apply this to anything else. Oh, you want to go to work? Well, you better be vaccinated. Vote? Oh, you don't even need an ID for that. KCC says, what if during periods of mass arrests, people had understood they had nothing to lose and had bodily set up in the downstairs hall an ambush of half a dozen people? Alexander Solzhenitsyn. I don't know how to... Solzhenitsyn? I don't know how to pronounce that. But no, that's the thing, right? France is learning it. Australia learned it. America is I guess behind right now. America's behind. There's way more of us than them. There's way more of us than them. Did you guys see? I saw this video the other day. It was amazing. There was a guy who ran onto a soccer field, right? As people are wont to do. They run onto the soccer field, they get chased down, they get tackled, they get escorted out. You know, maybe they're naked, maybe they're not. But in this particular one, 5 cops tackle this guy, and one of them takes his nightstick, and he's just jabbing the guy with the nightstick, just beating on him, right? All this sudden, the entire fucking crowd storms the field, and a guy actually Spartan kicks one of the cops right off the guy. Just bam! The other cops get taken and split up, which is horrifying for them. Some of them are getting kicked and stomped on and shoved around. They got separated and demolished because there were 6 people, 6 cops or 5 cops or however many it was. But there's like 1,000 people who are like, hey, you're supposed to just tackle him and take him off the field because he's a goofball. It's just some idiot running on a soccer field. I don't know how old it is. I saw it the other day. It's just some jackass running on a soccer field. What happened to us? Like, we're all okay. The social construct or the contract is that the cops, yeah, they take the guy, they tackle him. They're like, hey, you dummy. Ha ha ha. You're going to be on TV, you idiot. He gets banned from the stadium for a year or whatever because he's not going to go to the stadium in the next year. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just a stunt. No one was hurt. No one cares. But this cop decided to start pounding on the guy. And then, all of a sudden, it gets turned the fuck around. In France, we saw this. I tweeted one of the videos from the French mall the other day where protesters showed up at a French mall. They were trying to shop unmasked. And cops show up and they start just beating on this woman with nightsticks. Just beating on her. But did you see what happened later? When the cops had to retreat, because there's like 1,000 people, cops had to retreat up the escalator with their shields and their fucking sticks, and they backed off. because there's only like 20 of them? What happened to us? What happened to us when tyranny is allowed to rear its head and we all just stop? We were the country that went to war over a 2% tax on one product. We went to war with the biggest country, the greatest superpower that the world had known to that point. The sun never set on the British Empire because it was so big. It's always sunny in British Delphia or whatever. And we said, 2% tax? Fuck you. We'll fight you. And now we're like, please, don't just vax me, but vax me forcefully. Give it to me, government. What happened? What happened? Perihelion says, stop, the black pill is too big. It's not a black pill. It's not a black pill. We're not lost. We're not over. We're just confused. We're just confused. Like I said, France is if the French are waking up, if the Aussies are waking up, the Aussies gave their guns to the government. They're like, please take them. They gave it up. They've been protesting in the streets for days, and the Australian government backed down. They backed down. They stopped. He said, "Whoa, yeah, our current plan is untenable." You think? If they can start waking up, I think America can too. I think we can too. KCC said, Yazoogle says in Biden voice, and we were victorious in Afghanistan, man. Afghanistan is such a cluster, by the way. Did you see they implemented the new Taliban, or the transition government is all like hardcore Talibani militants. Like, women will not play sports. You're done. They're done. You're done. You're done. And the U.S. government's like, we just hope the Taliban will do enough so we can send them billions of dollars. That's what the U.S. government is doing right now with the Taliban. They just want the Taliban to do enough to give them permission to send billions of dollars. Like, they just want to do it. Like, please let us send these money to tyrants. We have to do it. Because our foreign policy is so fucking backwards. We're so broken as a government. Republicans are high on the list on this one too, by the way. That we just must send American tax dollars overseas at such a high rate that we're just begging them to, like, please just don't kill too many women. Like, just don't kill too many of them so we can please give you money. That's what we have to do. We just gotta, because the government was the first virtue signaler. The American government is the king simp. The king simp. And they're simping for ugly men with rags on their heads. They're fucking, they're simping for, to quote Walter, a bunch of camel. Like, they're out here just simping as hard as they can because they were the first and biggest simps. The American government is trillions of dollars in simpery. They don't know what to do without giving money to other governments. Like, oh God, there's a tyrant. Thank the Lord. Here, the people are going to be in dire straits, so we can give the tyrant the money now, pretending it goes to the people. We're going to send a bunch of money to Afghanistan, and the Taliban will take it, and they'll use it to maintain all of the fucking military equipment we left them. It's great. And Biden will be like, no, they're making good progress. We only executed 8 women today. This morning. 9, 11. That was a double. They were twins. Whoa, hot. That's how it's gonna go. That's how it's gonna go. Davisar says, PooTube won't let me share the quote, but Hans Hermann Hoppe has the right idea on Democrats and communists. I'm not familiar. Very interested, but I'm not gonna say it. Ricky Green says, thanks for streaming this raggets. I medically can't, and I'm a dad of 4 young kids, and with 2 who also can't. We are already treated differently by friends and neighbors. The government has created a subclass of people. And shockingly, this is why democracy is bullshit, always has been, always will be. The only system that may be worse than communism is democracy. Because the 75% vaccinated class will impose any amount of restrictions on the 25% minority. Because what do they risk or lose? What do they risk or lose? You are a second-class citizen. They look at you. The vaccinated class in America looks at the unvaccinated class like the Democrats look at a black man in a hoodie. Holy shit, they're terrified of you. And they hate you. There is no more disdainful segment of the country right now. And the government is fomenting the divide. They want it to go from 25% to 10%. You know why they want it to be 10%? They can do whatever they want to you. Once you get under 10% minority, you have no political power. None. Even if every single one of you stands up, you will be snuffed out. They want to create this class. And what they're doing to the unvaccinated is offensive to Western society. We moved beyond this. We created a republic for this reason. Not a democracy. Because democracies died in Athens with a bunch of raped little boys. The denialist says, just got home. What the fuck did I miss? A lot. A lot. Check Twitter. Oh God, what? Flash, what happened? Did I get banned? Oh no!
Because
this is a good one. This is a good one. We'll play it real quick. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let me put on my headphones. Here we go.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded. Because
It's true, though. It's true. It's one of the most true and honest clips on the internet. Oh, my God. Joss B says, I believe Biden cares about your children about as far as he can sniff them. Also been a while since I gave some commie bucks. Cheers. I don't know what is rejectionable about my comment. Me either. But all of it. All of it is rejectionable. Silver coins go clink, clink. says at some point we're going to have to relearn what it means to go through with the threat of violence against the government. I'm not advocating that very clearly, even though I'm advocating for violence. No, that's the chatter, not me. And look, I'm not looking forward to it. No, that's the worst part, and it's why I always advocate against violence. I'm horrified by the prospect of it. I am horrified that our government is taking us to it. We have been through so much since 1865. We have been through a lot of fucking nasty, ugly fights since 1865 without violence. And to think that our government is dragging us head over Kamala heels. Wait, no, she's heels over head. Heels over Kamala head Harris. The government is dragging us like Kamala in bondage to a violent conflict is horrifying to me. I don't want that for my kids. I don't want that for my grandkids. I want to grow up in the peace. I want them to grow up in the peace that I grew up in, where all the wars were distant. That's what I want. I'm terrified of what is coming. My locals is down? Is all locals down? No, it's up. It's up. I just checked. Refresh. I'm terrified of what's coming. He says, I'm not looking forward to it. This won't end well, even if the right people win. No, that's the problem with civil wars, right? Oh, so to talk about that briefly, you guys, I assume, saw the big news of the day that the Robert E. Lee statue was taken down, right? To thunderous applause and all of that stuff. Robert E. Lee wasn't the biggest fan of slavery. Yes, I know. Robert E. Lee had some unkind words in 2021 parlance to say about the African Americans and Africans in general. Remembering that Robert E. Lee was speaking in 1860, his take is actually not that bad for the present time that he was speaking. Presentism, or the historian's fallacy, is one of the biggest fucking problems with Twitter and all other mediums right now. But you can find much worse takes than Robert E. Lee on slavery and the African race coming in the contemporary timeline that he was in. But that being said, not a huge fan of slavery in general was Robert E. Lee, but he fought for the South because that's where he lived. That's where he lived. That was his loyalty. And also, everybody likes to go ahead and forget one really important thing. You know who wanted Robert E. Lee? The North. The North tried to recruit Robert E. Lee because the North wanted a competent military leader on their side. Because the North, Robert E. Lee's take was a cold take in the North. His take on the African, we're taking the fucking present day thoughts on race relations and applying them to the North of 1860. The North of 1860 didn't like black people. They just didn't like that the slave states had free labor. It's not like they're like, yes, come to New York. They're like, oh God, I hope they go to one of those Western territories that no one wants to live in that will kill them. That's how the North thought about blacks in 1860. We're out here pretending that the North was a bunch of 1990 liberals talking about black civil rights. What the fuck pretend land do we live in? Nobody. Not a single northern icon with a statue had a better take than Robert E. Lee on the African race in 1860. What the fuck kind of pretend world are we in now, where we get to read back onto history that which didn't happen? They believed in no, Sin, you're wrong. They believed in slavery. They didn't have an industry that would benefit from it in the North, because they didn't have the same land sizes and plantations and growing seasons that they had in the South. You couldn't do slavery in the textile mills in the North because the Jews were already basically working as slaves in that field, but they were slaves to other Jews. Like that's just how it went. And the Irish, let's not forget that. The Irish were already populating the coal mines. They didn't have room for slavery in the North. It's not that they didn't like slavery. They would have done it if they could. They would have been happy to do it. They just didn't have the right economic platform for it. Darny77 says, Si vis pacem parabellum. I don't know what that means, but it's Latin, so it's wise. Probably shouldn't say that. I don't know what it means. Oh, no. Okay. All right, we got some more to read here. Monthly tip sunscreen. The Pie Baker says, Boomer, Eurocucks, and Fedestralia went to bed sooner than the U.S. That's why they're waking up before us. Touché. The legendary Jay says, in less infuriating news, please shill my book about alien cat girls when Death Worlders chat. I think that's the book. When Death Worlders chat. It's about alien cat girls. You can also find him at u/thelegendaryj on Reddit. So maybe there's some info there. If you guys are interested in alien cat girl books, first of all, get the gas. Second of all, give him a checkout on that book. Yashkin says, hey Nick, how's it going there, man? You gotta love the liars calling everyone else liars by this new technical term, misinformation. I'm not looking forward for my state, Michigan, and our governor, Dictator Whitmer. I'm not taking this shot because I don't need it. You know, it's amazing that the new civil liberty is to be mandated what to do by government, and people are okay with it. They're okay with it. Fuentes would not love that book. Fuentes loves cat boys. Come on now. Let's get with the program. It is 1984. It is the doublespeak. It is the reversal of truth. They've just inverted it, and they've said it loud enough. No, freedom is mandatory vaccination. How on earth can that possibly be free? Mike DeWine Shit-Eating Grin says, forced vaccination in schools ran by the Defense Department. So all our military schools are going to filtered even more and super indoctrinated, rip and dilate the military even more. Yeah. Yashken says, whenever the government says something is free, it only costs a bit of your freedom. Fuck this guy. He says he's done waiting, so now it's time to force you to do as you're told. Fuck this man and anyone who wants to get rid of your choice. Yes, I said it. I said it when Biden said the bit about free. Remember the thing about social media, right? If the product is free, then you're the product. If the vaccine is free, then you're the product. I don't know exactly what that means. Like, I don't know how you're the product, but you are. You are. I mean, if nothing else, it's the government creating a class divide, right? Like that's the basic one. The government creating a class divide. The people divided against itself will never be able to overcome a government. So that's one of the goals. The other is just your government is your God. It must be. your God. God has no place in your life, nor does science. They pretend science, right? But it's not actually science. It's government diktat by scientists. There's a difference. Your God must be the government. You cannot rely on science, rationality, philosophy, Christianity, anything, Judaism. There is no ethos but government. None but government. Global warming is only an acceptable ethos because the government accepts it. Vaccination is the acceptable ethos because the government accepts it. So I'm not fully sure what the product is other than class divide and government as God. But I think there's probably something else there too. Silky Johnson says, boy, watching hair-sniffing pedo Smooth Brain Joe push the propaganda is like watching a CNN segment. Everything he said is a lie. How is trying to create a two-tier society illegal? I thought segregation was illegal, and is there potential 14th Amendment violations? Interestingly enough, I did tweet about 14th Amendment. Is there a 14th Amendment violation? Maybe. Under the original understanding of the 14th Amendment? No, but we got rid of that a long time ago. At some point, when you become a lower class citizen and a minority, you should be a protected class. Will the 14th Amendment apply? Only if the Supreme Court recognizes it. Silver Coins Go Clink Clink says, last super chat was dark. So I wanted to say, I recently saw Blazing Saddles. They did racism right. Ners! Chinex and The Chosen are all right, but screw the Irish. Yes. Oh, God. No, Blazing Saddles is basically modern prophecy. It's beautiful. Yashken says, remember my body, my choice. That only applies to pregnant women, some men, and only when it comes to killing the unborn fuck of these hypothetical people. Yep, that's it. Alex Ghost says, just wait till being unpoked is called abuse and they take away people's kids. It's coming. It's coming. They're already trying it. They tried it in Cook County, right? In Cook County, a judge tried to do that, walked it back, but that it's just the test case. It's just the first one. More of that is coming. This will only escalate. This isn't left versus right. This is protecting everyone's freedom. A lot of the unvaccinated are liberals. In liberal cities. That's the worst vaccination rates are in liberal metro areas. Because, again, it's almost like black populations don't trust the government. I can't think of why. Jim Crow was law. Jim Crow wasn't some idea that people came up with. Well, I mean, I guess it was. And then they codified it into law. The government implemented Jim Crow. Why do we think that blacks maybe don't trust the government? Silky Johnson says, Nick, since you don't want a painting of whiskey bottles when you have court, you must by any means commission a painting of Kool-Aid Man with a switchblade meth and him banging legless whores and with you in the background filming the debauchery. That sounds like a good idea. I'll definitely have that done so I can have that in the background of court. That'd be wonderful and help my clients. Stug says, go on Sitch and Adam or get them on your show. Is that Adam friended? Is that the Adam from Sitch and Adam? I don't actually know. Mean Sarton says, Biden will accidentally mandate ice cream vaccines. Probably. Stephen Cooper says, at least you had the decency to not show up in a tie. Now, I wore my tie earlier today, and that was enough for me. 2012 Jameson says, we need a law that denies all federal benefits to anyone who is part of leaving Americans behind enemy lines. Yes, includes Army generals. Yes, it's Adam friended. I would talk to them. I'd talk to them. I don't know if Sitch would like me so much. But Adam follows me on Twitter. I'd, happily. Just always need a subject. Jamie Moodley says Josh and Birch stream when? Working on things like that. Wolfgang Villarreal says just left torts class. Judge Andrews from the Palgraf case is an idiot. Be gentle. I'm only a 1L. Well, I'm glad you're a 1L because I don't remember the Palgraf case off the top of my head. What case is that? Let's see. Palgraf. Oh, Paulsgraf versus Long Island Railroad. Holy shit, what was this? Liability to an unforeseeable plaintiff. Is this the banana peel? No. 2 men attempted to board the train before hers. One, aided by railroad employees, dropped a package that exploded, causing a large coin-operated scale on the platform to hit her. After the incident, she began to stammer and subsequently sued the railroad, arguing that its employees had been negligent while assisting the man, and that she had been harmed by the neglect. Let's see.
The engine is damaged.
Okay, so... Oh, he wrote proximate cause. Oh, God.
This vehicle has had it.
Yeah. List of factors the courts might consider, such as remoteness. Yeah, I'd have to read his full opinion. I'm not going to do that right now, but yeah, very fun.